When you think about Markelle Fultz, what do you think of? Most people would probably think of his busted jump shot, or they would think of how he was a bust in Philadelphia and never panned out to be the player he wanted to be. However, things have changed ever since the trade to the Orlando Magic, and I'm going to talk about that today. It's easy to see why Markelle was the #1 prospect coming into the 2017 NBA draft. I mean, if you look at him physically, he passes all the eye tests. He's 6'4", he has a 6'9" wingspan, and he's 210 pounds, which is great for a point guard. And on top of that, he's really explosive as well. And then, when you watched him play, he had a silky smooth pull-up jumper, he could attack the rim with ease, and he could finish around or through the defense. It seemed like he had all the physical tools. Not to mention he was an above-average playmaker, and he ran the pick and roll to perfection. However, as we all know, something happened to that silky smooth jump shot that we saw in Washington, and honestly, many people don't know the cause, and neither do I, to be honest. All we know is that he was diagnosed with thoracic outlet syndrome. And thoracic outlet syndrome is no joke. It's a nerve disorder that occurs when the blood vessel or nerves in the space between your collarbone and your first rib are compressed. And this causes pain in your shoulders, neck, and numbness in your fingers, which could explain all the different jump shots, all the different free throw routines, and why Markelle had to change his shot altogether in his short NBA career. But instead of talking about all the negatives that Markelle had to go through in Philadelphia, I want to talk about how he's having a resurgence, a Phoenix-like comeback in Orlando. Me, like many people as well, thought the trade to Orlando was going to be a great thing for Markelle, as he didn't have to deal with all the pressure in Philly with them trying to compete for a championship, and that it was a small market team so Markelle could focus on his own and he'd be able to get back 100% or even better than he was when he was drafted. And I think he proved a lot of people right, and for some, maybe he even exceeded their expectations. I mean, when you look at Fultz on the court, he looks really comfortable with his Magic teammates. I mean, he's still as impressive as he was in Washington with the pick and roll. He sees things that some other point guards wouldn't. He's still explosive as ever, just like in Washington, and he can rise up over the defenders and throw it down when he needs to. And what surprised me even more is that he looks comfortable when he takes his jump shots. I mean, there may be a slight hitch, but he's not afraid to shoot the ball. He hits his pull-up mid-rangers when he needs to, and although his three-point percentage isn't where most would like it, it's good that he's taking them. He's taking about 2.5 per game, which isn't bad for him. And he's also pretty impressive on defense as well, and although the box score may only show he averages 1.3 steals per game, it's his on-ball defense that impresses me. He's more than capable of sliding his feet and cutting off the ball handler and putting a hand up when they contest a shot. And he's also really good at reading the passing lanes as well, evidenced by his game-winning steal against the Wizards a couple of days ago. I mean, what more do you want from your point guard? And speaking of stats, let's dive into those really quick. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging 23.6 minutes per game and putting up 10.5 points, 2.2 rebounds, 3.1 assists, on 48.6% from the field, 21.4% from the three-point line, and an impressive 82.1% from the free throw line. Looking at his per 36 stats, he's averaging 16.1 points, 4.7 assists, 3.4 rebounds, and he's averaging an impressive 2 steals per game. However, the most impressive thing to me is, look, I know I said I've been impressed this whole video, but I have to root for Markelle. I mean, he's been through so much, but anyways, the most impressive thing about his game to me is his finishing ability and his ability to create his own shot. Speaking about his finishing around the rim, he shot 27 of 36 from the field, which is 75%. That is elite. And from 3 to 10 feet, he shot a very good 11 of 23, which is 47.8%. And look, these layups that he's taking at the rim, or dunks, aren't like necessarily super easy. He's taken a lot of contact layups, he's had to finish around and over defenders, he's had a few and ones as well, which means he's shown he can finish through contact and he's capable of doing these things. His shot creation is also impressive to me as well, as he's only been assisted on his buckets 37% of the time this season, 20 out of 54 to be exact. The scary thing is that I don't think Markelle is fully healthy yet, and he's still able to do these things. I mean, when he's at full health, it's gonna be crazy to imagine what he can do at the basket, how he can contort his body, and when he's finally healed with his shoulder, he'll finally be able to pull up comfortably, and it's gonna be a sight to see, I'll tell you that. As the season goes on, I could see Fultz's minutes going up, and that means his numbers are going to go up as well. I can see them going up to around 29 to 31 minutes per game, playing alongside DJ Augustine as the 2 guard. And look, I think Fultz has a very bright career ahead of him. I mean, he's taking steps in the right direction. It's great to see him back on the court in general. I mean, many thought that he wouldn't be back on a basketball court. It's only a matter of time before Fultz's game comes back to him fully and that we get to see his full potential. He just has to stay away from injuries and he just has to keep getting healthier and better every day. For me, Fultz's floor is that he could be a very effective floor general for a team looking for a point guard. I mean, he could lead the first unit, he could lead the second unit, but his ceiling, his full potential, is that he could be an all-star, an all-NBA player, given his physical attributes, his natural feel for the game, and his basketball IQ. But with all that being said, let me know your thoughts about Markelle below. Do you think he's going to be a star? Do you think he's going to be a bust? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like the video, hit the subscribe button, and turn on post notifications if you want. Thank you very much for 130 subscribers. I appreciate all the support. But with all that being said, thanks for watching and have a good day or night wherever you are.